Hey YouTube, it's The Blind Scholar. This is episode 3 of Black History Uncut. Please hit the like button and leave a comment down below to build engagement for my channel. And if you want to be notified when my next video drops, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. And now, with all the housekeeping out of the way, I'm very excited to discuss today's topic. Charles Richard Drew, also known as the father of the blood bank, was an African American surgeon and hematologist. Hema is the Latin root for blood, and a hematologist is someone who studies blood and blood disorders. Drew discovered plasma, also known as blood plasma, which makes up about 55% of your blood. It helps with clotting, blood pH balance, fighting infections, and transporting and eliminating waste products. And here's a picture describing plasma and its uses. Born June 3rd, 1904 in Washington, D.C., Drew was an average student. Shout out to all the C students out there. But a very gifted athlete, and got recruited in 1922 for a football and track and field scholarship to Amherst College in Massachusetts. Being only one of 13 African Americans in the student body of 600, Drew was surrounded by hostility, not just from opposing teams, but even his own team passed him over for a position of captain in his senior year, even though he was their best player. Though he would win a Mossman Trophy as the man who contributed the most to athletics for 4 years straight. Like most college students his age, Drew didn't have a clear goal in mind for his future until a biology professor sparked his interest in medicine. Like most fields during that time, medicine was segregated and greatly limited education and career opportunities for African Americans. This would lead him to McGill University College of Medicine in Montreal, Canada, where he distinguished himself winning the annual scholarship prize in neuroanatomy, the anatomy of your nervous system, i.e. the brain, spinal cord, nerves, and ganglia, and be elected to the Medical Honor Society Alpha Omega Alpha. Drew ended his college days with a bang, winning the J. Francis Williams Prize, and in 1933 received his MD and CM, Master of Surgery, degrees. In 1938, Drew earned his doctorate at Columbia University, and he wrote his doctoral thesis named Bank Blood. This thesis was the culmination of his study of blood preservation techniques, and this research could not have come at a better time because World War II was just around the corner. As casualties during World War II mounted, the need for blood plasma was reaching its peak. Drew was a leading authority in this field and was elected for the director position of the Blood for Britain project, collecting over 14,500 pints of vital plasma for the British. In February 1941, Drew was appointed as the director of the first American Red Cross blood bank, in charge of blood use by U.S. Army and Navy. During this time, the use of African American blood was prohibited from being used, and Drew argued for them to be included in plasma supply networks. Thus, in 1942, the Armed Forces ruled for the use of African American blood, but with a caveat. African American blood had to be stored separately from white blood and used separately. Because of this, Drew resigned from his post as a director. Drew's accomplishments continued after this, but unfortunately, on April 1st, 1950, Drew tragically died in a car accident, ended his life tragically at the age of 46. If you'd like more details and specifics, feel free to check the links in the description below. Now, moving on to my closing thoughts. It is not an understatement to say that this man was a genius and single-handedly revolutionized the medical field. Not just in America, but the entire world. It's a tragedy this man died so early. Who knows what he could have achieved if given more time. But I hope this video was informative, and if so, hit that like button, leave a comment, and if you want to be notified when my next video drops, subscribe and hit the bell icon. These likes and comments help push my content into the algorithm, and bring more exposure to my channel. This is The Blind Scholar. See you in the next episode of Black History Uncut.